Konnichiwa, and welcome back to the next episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies, the podcast where we review a movie we just saw from the parking lot right after we saw it. I am Todd Domer.
And I'm Matt Malloy. And this time, we saw Maleficent, what is it? Maiden of Evil?
Mistress of
Evil, yes.
Although I like Maiden of Evil.
Maiden of Evil's pretty good too. They maybe should have gone with that. So this is the sequel to Maleficent, which of course was the kind of story of Sleeping Beauty told from Maleficent's point of view. This movie is about what happens later. There's a wedding, there's conflict, there's war, and in the end, people learn how, even though we're different, we can be together. So,
tale as old as time.
yes, very, very fairy tale. So, what did you think, Todd?
Typically, I am not the biggest fan of these kind of movies, but I actually kind of like this one. It was not bad. It was like I was engaged in the story most of the time. I thought the acting was pretty good. CGI at times was a little off. Like there were times where Maleficent and other people would be talking and they would be flying at the same time, and it just kind of looked weird to me. But those are all little minor gripes. But overall, I thought I was not going to be as enthralled in the story as I was. I did not expect to enjoy myself, really. I felt we were going to walk into a kids movie, and I was going to be bored, and I was going to not wish that we hadn't come. But to my surprise, I felt it was pretty good. I was engaged. I would recommend it to anyone who has kids that wants to go, or if you just want to go see it because you're a huge Angelina Jolie fan, sure, why not?
Indeed, why not?
What did you think?
Well, I thought it was a little slow to start, but really picked up by the end. Fairly paint by numbers. It's a fairy tale movie, so it's got sort of a fairy tale plot, and you're not going to get a lot of diversity there. I did think that the Disney factor came into play. They really built a nice, beautiful world. You're right about some CGI elements being a little off, but I thought that they had a big cast of mythical and magical characters, and a lot of magic involved, which came out pretty well. So like you, I think I overall liked it and would probably recommend it. I'm not sure that we're quite the target audience, although like you said, I had a good time.
Sure. So. Yeah. Definitely not the target audience, but it still reached us. So that's a win on their part, I think.
It did. Yeah.
So how many winged bird people would you give this movie out of 5?
So there were quite a few winged bird people in the movie, and I would say I'm probably right in the middle. I didn't love the movie, but I was engaged, and it was probably more than I even expected. So I'll give it 2 3/4 winged bird people.
Oh.
What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think our last podcast, I gave Zombieland the kind of right down the middle kind of feeling of, I believe my terminology was blah.
Yes,
I feel like this is a little bit above that. So if I was at a 2.5 decaying zombie corpses, then I feel like I have to be at a 3, a nice 3 of winged bird people for this. So I felt that I could have just been but I was engaged and I cared where the story went. So, you get an extra half winged bird person for that. So I'm going with 3.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot. That's it for another episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies. Check us out next time, and we're available everywhere you can get podcasts.
Ba-da-da-da! Ba-da-da-da!